Starting. Whoop, it's there.
And
Hi, YouTube.
welcome YouTube and anyone, as I said, who has found us or has decided to start watching us. We are on session 11
Yay!
of
That
Storm
long?
King.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, Storm King's Thunder by Wizards of Coast, Thunder Dragon, blah blah. We are gathered here today. I'm tired. It's hot. Uh, in reality,
Canadian
but
hot, that is.
well, I shouldn't say it's hot. It's so humid. I am hot.
No.
We Canadian hot, is that like American polite?
American beer.
More like a rebel yell.
We are, as I said, playing Storm King's Thunder session 11. Everybody's here. The adventurers are way up in the north of the Forgotten Realms in Faerun, way up in Icewind Dale. They are on a quick little reconnaissance mission just to be sure that the giants aren't lingering around for a second attack. And while they're out there, they are gonna take a quick pass to Iron Master to see if they can recruit some allies for the settlement and helping to protect it in case it should be overrun again. And so the characters made it all the way over to the coastline where they discovered a single frost giant that was apparently accidentally left behind and was awaiting should they return for him.
Should anybody
When
notice?
when our characters spotted him from a distance using magic and stealth, were able to approach and subdue this giant, which is now lying conscious upon the rocky shore as the creaking and crashing of the ice out in the sea and the howl of the winds on the land are the only things I hear, other than their breathing slowly calming and slowing. So you guys are there. You guys have this massive giant on this cold landscape, cold shore, cold ocean, cold air, laying there, beaten and unconscious. That's it.
How long does it take for a giant to come around?
About the same as a normal person. So, game rules 1 die 4 hours.
Okay, we got some time then.
Are we going to try to lily put him down? You know, oh, he does have a giant net, right?
Oh, I
Yeah,
could
he
use
does.
that, yeah.
Yeah, we can use his own net. You know, put it over like a blanket and maybe try to spike it into the ground somewhat. Although I don't know how effective, that would be. But
How
we
far
can
are we
try.
from the town? Like a day's away, right?
I don't think he'll fit on the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we cut
Also,
him in
our didn't our horses get eaten?
Well, listen, your horse got eaten before. When you guys left here with the wagon, I kind of forgot. So let's assume that you guys have like a replacement horse, because you guys.
Yeah, we got a backup horse. Yeah.
Yay!
How about a pony named Bill?
Well, do you know what? It very well could be because it is the north, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't be like a horse as you would like.
It's a
One of
llama.
Michael's precious thoroughbreds would die, so it
It'll
would
be something
like
small and hardy.
yeah, exactly.
Like a mule?
All right.
Well, kind of, or like what you call it, like a Viking pony, a
Alpaca.
Norse horse, or whatever they call it.
They have Norse horses?
Long-haired
Well-
horses.
I can't remember what they're no are they Iceland horses?
we-
That's what they're called. The Iceland horses. They in fact, they don't like trot. They have a canter they call a trot. They always have 3 feet on the ground. They walk really, really fast,
Yeah.
Ah.
and it's because the terrain is so rugged. They don't run. They just walk really fast. They look kind of comical, but they're neat.
Okay.
When Garl hears small and sturdy, he turns up and says, "Yes, a gnome."
Yes, we know, but we're talking about the four-legged variety. Not quite the two-legged intelligent variety.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting this giant by just tired, especially not in in the time it would take for him to wake up.
Yeah, we need to plan something now. Could we just tie it up in the net? We don't
Yeah.
have to stake it down.
Tie it up in the net, kind of.
Well, we all have rope, right?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When he wakes up, he'll be woozy and easy to whack down again. So just like simply having somebody stand on his chest with a sword at his throat may be enough.
Well, we could have that as a
Yeah.
precaution, just in
Yeah.
case.
I'm a
This way.
polar bear.
All right.
A polar
And
Oh, that'd be good.
who's best at intimidation here?
I'm a polar bear.
Are you bigger than a giant? Or as
I
big?
think I'm like 4 feet shorter.
No, polar bear is what, about 10 feet and about half ton.
Yeah.
And
So
a giant frost giant is what is it, Michael? About 22 feet, 25 feet.
they were over 20.
What is the accurate weight speed velocity of an unweighted bear?
So it's bigger than your size. The bear is. So I mean, it's still helpful.
Well, a polar bear is still helpful all the same. They're very strong.
Yes.
It's stronger than me, stronger than you. So I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's just not as big as a giant.
Oh, surprise for giant, for sure.
It'll be a little woozy as long as we have a sword at his throat. You know.
Yep. What appears to be a trained polar bear and a sword at its throat.
And you know,
And probably tying
netted and you know, attempted to at least spike the
it
net
up
to
as
the
well.
ground.
That would help.
Won't hurt.
And then I could, and then someone could cast a charm spell on it or something. I don't think we've got high enough supply.
Oh,
I'd
someone
pick for
had
that,
a
though.
suggestion, didn't they?
Not me. Oh, actually, yeah. Hang on, I do have a suggestion, but I think I can only do it once per day. Did I use it today?
I believe you
used
failed
it
at
on the
it. We
frost giant.
tried.
Yeah, but I've used it. I'm only able to use it once per day, so I know I don't have it.
Dang it.
Or my infernal heritage is not that has not got enough power for me to use it today. Because my power, yeah.
Well, who else
Anyway.
has charisma then? Try and talk to him.
It would probably be silence.
Yeah, probably me. I'm not sure if singing to it will get it to
Well,
speak.
it's either high charisma or medium charisma and proficiency in intimidation.
Who do we have that speaks giant? That's the first place to start.
I said
Yeah.
giant, but I'm a polar bear.
But
uh,
when everybody's
Yes.
going with the net going like that, Gar will pull out of his backpack some pittance. That he has 10
All right.
pittance. He'll say, "Will these work to nail him down? We can put one in his forehead."
What spells do I have today? Hang on. If someone wants to try the try to get him to talk to us, I could bless them, but that's about all I could do to help you.
Well, you guys have like the net and the ropes, pitons. Like I said, it's very rocky. Everything from gravel to like boulders. So,
We could
It's
roll
a
some
shoreline.
boulders onto the net.
so
Mhm.
yeah. If you guys want, because like minimum will be an hour till he wakes up. That's gonna be like pretty much the quickest. So if you guys wanted to like spread the net and tie him up and pitons and rocks and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I'm doing that.
Yeah, let's go that route.
Let's.
Who wants to stand on his chest with a sword at his throat?
I don't have a sword.
I think several of them could. You know, he's
I
big.
have a natural 20 in strength as a polar bear and an hour time limit, so I assume I'll be carrying big boulders around.
Oh yeah, you could easily like help to push rocks and stuff like quite easily.
Yeah, so that's what I'll be doing.
Garl would more than willingly accept the volunteer of sitting on this small creature's chest with his mighty sword right up against his cold Adam's apple.
I expect no less.
You know what? I'll join you.
The polar bear is humming the bare necessities to himself while they work.
Look for the bare necessities.
Well, I'm not gonna sit on Frost Giant's chest because if he stands up, I'm not gonna be falling off him.
And as far as polar bears go, if you're my age and Canadian, every time you say polar bear plays in my head from Sesame Street when I was a kid, like from the 70s. I'm a polar bear living in the ice and snow. But I think that was only on the Canadian one.
Yeah, it was.
What a comforting
So,
image for such a scary, strong creature.
So out of curiosity, who does speak giant here?
I
Did
do.
you know? Here's a polar bear fact. Couple of them. Number 1, eating polar bear liver will kill you.
Really?
Yeah, because normally, when you hunt, it's pretty safe to eat the liver raw.
Yeah.
Polar bear liver will kill you.
Huh.
Another thing is when polar bears attack humans, which is still quite frequently, they eat your face.
They're tasty.
And not-
That's why.
And not that they eat your face, like they pull the skin off. They like take a bite out of like your skull like it's an apple.
Oh, tasty.
But they bite your face off.
Yeah.
Oh, when you think about it, you're just a well-preserved meat packet with a dessert in the shape of a jelly in a nice crunchy small packet.
Well, and I'll tell you why behaviorally. Because polar bears' main food source is seals. So they sit by an air hole, which usually you can hardly even see, right? Because like the snow is covering it and everything. And what seals do, and seals are not dumb, they know there's predators. So what they do is they come to a breathing hole and they just stick the tip of their nose out of the water to breathe and to smell. If there's nothing there, then they'll be okay, it's safe, they'll come out onto the ice. But what polar bears do is that they'll sit and watch a hole for hours or days. And when they see a nose, they just reach in and grab it by the face and pull the seal out onto the ice by its face. So they bite your face off. And that's like when there's like usually polar bear attacks, yeah, they just find people with like their faces bitten off like an apple.
Well, must be a very clear tail.
Churchill,
I wonder what killed him.
Churchill, Manitoba. No one ever locks their vehicles or their doors because there's so many polar bears there. And so one of the craziest things ever is that it's kind of always like a tradition on Halloween. They always have like news broadcasts from Churchill because it's kind of crazy because kids are trick-or-treating and then everyone just splits because all of a sudden there's a polar bear walking down the street.
Anybody give it some candy?
Because the polar bears live on the mainland until the ice forms. And the ice is forming later. 2 weeks later, practically, than it was. Or, not practically. It is. It's 2 weeks later than it was like only like 5-10 years ago. So, polar bears are hungry. Anyways. Polar bear fact. They bite your face off. They're fucking strong. So, with the polar bear's help, you guys can easily pin this thing down. I would roll die for it, but it doesn't really matter what's an hour or 4 hours. Eventually, Garl and Nicodemus, because you guys are right there, you guys notice like it's shallow breathing from being beaten unconscious. At the point, changes to a deeper, slower breathing, and even snores a bit. Not long after that, it kind of stirs and it kind of sputters, and you guys could tell that the giant is waking underneath pinned under its own net and restrained on the shore with a half-eaten seal carcass freezing, only about 20 feet nearby, freezing solid, unless you guys wanted to.
No, the bear ate that while he was
buried
their
it too?
necessities.
Okay. Perfect. It's delicious.
As Garl sees this giant coming to him like that, he'll press his short sword tighter to its Adam's apple.
Okay.
And in Gnomish, he'll say, "Tell us your secrets or I'll kill you now."
I'll translate. He says, "Tell him your secrets."
Do you speak Gnomish as well, Michael?
No, I do not. Never mind.
The giant stirs a few moments before it gathers its wits, and when it feels like the short sword poking into its throat, you can see it goes to raise an arm to swat or scratch at it, and that's really when it realizes what's going on. And and it kind of bellows in frustration, and then it just says in a rumbling voice that you guys can feel moving the ground because it's laying down, and it says softly, not bellowing, but it says softly, in giant, "What is it you want? Why do you keep me alive?"
Garl turn to the party and say, "He's saying he's going to eat us. I heard this story before. He's going to get us. He don't want to surrender and help us. Let's do him now."
Are you really sure about that, Garl? because you don't really have a positive track record.
We
Well,
wish to
that's
know.
my understanding of what he's saying.
We wish to know how. you can
Does
smell
Garth
the
speak
blood.
giant?
No.
Did
Okay,
you say
Michael,
giant?
we wish to know what? Michael, you said we wish to know what?
How you can smell the blood of the guy who had the Ring of Winter.
After wee bit of like coercion, maybe even threats of violence, you guys I'm just going to my thing to find the guy's name. You guys get from him that like what the fuck? That just closed on me. I don't know why he does that.
Now, I'm wondering how his name of what the fuck sounds in giant. It may sound real good.
Just
Mark-
really deep and drawn out. It sounds like James
Ooh,
Earl
must be.
Jones said it in his Darth Vader voice.
Fuck, that makes me mad when it does that. I have rage issues. No, I don't.
And denial issues.
Okay, what the hell is that guy's name? Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm tired and I was having a hard time sleeping, so I didn't prepare today like I should have. Mhm. What? Gerald?
Sorry, what?
I'm trying to fucking read the guy.
He's just going through the material, find out the answer.
Okay. Storbalds? I don't know. I can't read it. I can't. It's fucking pissing me off.
It's a fucking
Anyways.
giant. Yeah.
Gerald, the leader of okay. He says that like there it is. The Dramatis Personae. Fuck. Okay, I'm just trying to find because I want to get this guy's name right. That's what I am.
His name is Mud. His name is. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Permafrost would be a good name.
Okay. However, they don't have his title here. Okay.
How about
He
Groot?
said.
His name is I'm Groot.
He says his like. He says, I only know that the Gerald Storvald, 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 is their main leader. And he sent out Droopy's longship in search of the Ring of Winter. The Gerald has a magical gem that contains a drop of blood of the peon that has the ring. It was all that I know was that the Gerald had made a deal with some wizard and obtained this gem that can track down the one that has the ring and his bloodline. We were told.
Oh dear.
That's kind of the problem. You're tracking down his bloodline and not him. You got the wrong guy. All that wasted.
He says,
Nothing.
all I know is that Droopy's longship was sent to this human settlement. But he says, I was injured in the confrontation and lagged behind. They didn't wait for those who lagged behind.
Ah, thought so.
What makes you think they're going to come back for you?
He shrugs. He says, if
No.
not, I'll wait till the ice stabilizes and I can walk.
Fair enough.
He's going to leave anyway. But at least we got some information. Any other questions anyone else wants to ask while we have him?
Did he attack the city?
How about the ordning? How are y'all handling the breaking of the ordning?
He looks quite shocked. You don't have to make an insight. You can tell it's written all over his face that he's like he senses it, right? Like I said, it's more than just like a religious rule or a dogma rule. It's
Fucking way of life.
yeah. It's like that movie Liar, right, or whatever. The one where like the first liar, the person to tell the first lie, right? It's something so profound, something that has always been a restriction upon them is gone. They feel it in their soul, they feel it in their bones, and to know that the little people are aware of it, he's shocked.
We're quite clever. We learn all sorts of crazy things.
You don't want to ask Garl what he knows. He's learned a lot.
Garl, as this big, ugly, mean creature that's threatening death to us, keeps on going, he'll just kind of gently with the very tip of the short sword, keep jabbing at his Adam's apple when he goes to relax after talking.
His Adam's apple's the size of like a cantaloupe.
That's all right. That gives me an easier target to jab at.
Bigger
This
target.
little spot, that little spot.
Yeah.
Harassment, like it.
Is there anything else you want us to know from it?
Okay, well, what did you ask specifically about the ordning, Michael?
How are they handling the ordning? Is their society breaking down? Is he okay? Is he mentally, is it creating extra stress for him?
Oh yeah, what is the Frost
And-
Giants' plan overall?
And that's what I was going to deal to once I got them talking about how it's affecting them. And like, oh yeah, and are y'all making any plans? Yeah.
Well, he says Gerald Storvald's plan is to get the Ring of Winter.
Hmm?
It said it can bring winter to the entire world.
But then there'd be no wine. I mean, surely to God,
wine.
you all like wine, don't you?
Ice wine.
I have to try this.
They're the drow minions.
Let the berries freeze on, or let the grapes freeze on the vine.
You're not going to have grapes to grow to freeze on the vine if it's always winter.
What does he know of the other Giants' plans?
I know not.
Do you care?
Kind of tries to shake his head no, but he's all like restrained down. He's like,
what will you give
care
for your
not.
life? What would you give for your life?
what would I give for
Ooh, Claude raises his hand, and then he raises another one holding a giant eyeball.
You don't want to know how he got that.
You
says,
can't understand you.
kill me if you must. I will not kowtow to little folk.
I'm not asking you to kowtow. Just wondering how grateful you'd be if we let you live. So kowtowing's off the plate.
Ooh.
How about you owe us a favor?
Ooh.
He says, if it is my day, then it is my day.
Well then, good sir. This might be your day. Would you like a drink before you go?
Of your hot, steaming blood.
I was thinking whiskey, but
And he did put his sweat, blood, and tears into making that wine, so technically.
Claude will walk over and squish the eyes juices into his mouth.
Well, that's another way to do it.
That eyeball's frozen solid, man. That eyeball's like totally frozen solid.
Oh, it's the greatest. He'll drop it onto his mouth.
He'll just lick it for a while, like it's a nice wine.
Oh, that's nice, Cloud. You're sharing.
He crunches it like a candy.
No.
Mhm.
And with that, I'll give a wink and a smudge to Garl. With a stabbing motion type.
As you were, girl, as you were.
You saw it. It wasn't me. He slapped my arms and my shoulders, and the sword just.
Yeah, well, it would be. He's like restrained, so it's like auto crit. Like you hit with it, auto crit.
Yeah, and he's probably only got one hit point.
And he's got sneak attack, like girl and sneak attack and shit. And you can easily, when you slice his throat, but blood sprays like fucking 12 feet up in the air.
And it stains your hands, and you shall never clean it off.
Yeah. Yeah, like literally the blood just sprays out like 12 feet in the air.
Claude
And
will. Claude
and
will
it doesn't
go-
and it does not steam in the cold air.
Garl will say, "From now on, I'll be known as Garl, the Giant Slayer, Hands of Giant Blood."
You did slay this giant, but remember, I slayed Troopy.
There's no need to bicker over who killed who.
Claude will retrieve
Because there were.
new eyes. From
I
this
don't
giant.
think I've killed anything since I joined this group. Actually, I've killed some goblins, and yeah. Oh well. Anyway,
Not
we got
the
information.
heavy breathing of the giant is now stopped. All you hear is the wind and the rattling of the ice out in the sea, the creaking and thumping, and your cold breath, or your hot breath, making clouds of mist, a little bit of snow in the air, gray sky. The sea and the land are also gray. You guys have this giant. What do you guys want to do with it, or with him, or?
Claude is taking the eyeballs and the net
Mhm.
and throwing them in the bag of holding. He's got giant eyeballs and a net now.
Okay. The net is like big. It's like, for a huge creature to manipulate. It looks, like I said, it looks like it's made out of like heavy sinews. And
Mammoth sinews.
and rocks with holes bored through them.
Does the giant have anything on them?
Just
Random
like
stuff?
the Giants bag stuff,
Okay.
which I could roll, but it's kind of more of a pain in the ass than anything, because it's kind of like a big shoe, a fucking human-sized tea kettle. Like, it's just junk.
So, off to see the dwarves.
I think we need to make it quick. We don't know when that longboat went, and that guy is probably going to find out that they didn't manage to get the ring, and he's going to be back.
Did he have anything else of interest on his body besides giant bag stuff?
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
We go.
Sorry.
Time to head.
You guys, do you remember? Well, yeah, you guys do. I'll say you guys do. Someone remembers the voice of Markham Subtle saying, "If you guys find any, bring back the head."
Yeah.
The
It's
sheriff.
alright, Master.
Because you guys staked Droopy's head out front.
Yeah.
Markham Subtle said, "If you guys find any more, bring them out. Bring me the head."
Oh,
Yeah.
So you guys can
Take the head, put it on the cart.
put
you
on
can
the
put it
wagon.
on the
Okay.
cart, or
Wagon.
I was gonna say that
Yeah,
even,
wagon.
Yeah, wagon. I was gonna say that even might even fit the bag of holding.
As long as we drain it of all the blood first.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take long.
Or does that make it a red bag of holding?
Because I'm just trying to think of proportions, and yeah, it would fit inside the bag if you really wanted to. But it also, you got lots of room in the wagon still. And strangely enough, it just, even by like the following day, So you guys can all long rest.
Yeah.
Again, I like rolling for weather. Let's roll for weather, someone. I need some die 20 rolls. And don't forget about your inspiration. You guys all have.
Oh. After you
Special.
guys roll for weather, I'm gonna say that beforehand, Cloud used Druidcraft to find out what the weather would be, but he just doesn't tell anybody.
Our meteorologist.
So who is gonna roll for the weather then? Die 20?
Oh, what the hell?
For the
I got
temperature?
the die 20 right here. It is
Go for it,
a
Michael.
6.
Average temperature.
Hey, cold.
So cold, but not bad. Like it's just below. I was gonna say 0, just below freezing. Like it's not like super below, just
That's
below
fucking
freezing.
cold. That's American cold.
Pussy. That's jean jacket weather. Just smoke a cigarette to keep warm.
You tell him, brother.
Okay, maybe not American weather. It's like, south of, yeah. Yeah. That's Kentucky cold. Fuck, that's cold.
Roll again for wind, please.
12.
No wind.
Hey.
Roll for precipitation, please.
18.
Ooh,
Oh.
heavy snow though.
Sorry, quick note. Before I go to bed, who do we have to tell about the information about the Giants to?
We should go back to Bryn Shander and tell
Just
them.
back at Bryn Shander.
No, I'm saying I have sending prepared. I could, if we can figure out how to say it
No,
in
we
20
have to
words,
bring
I
a
could.
head back.
Yeah.
Well.
You can just tell,
We have
whoever.
to go to the other town to do the other thing.
Well, they can handle it. Yeah, you could send a message to who was the sheriff of Bryn Shander?
Yeah, Markham Settle. Yeah.
Yeah. Just send a
Sent
message
to
Yeah,
that the Giants are following the blood trail of whatchamacallit, and
Archer December.
yeah, and we have him there, so there's, as long as he's not there, they're most likely not going to come back to Bryn Shander.
Yeah,
And they've left at the moment via rowboat.
do you?
They're magically tracking him.
Yeah. Do you want me to figure out how to say that in 20 words, or can we just say that for I figures it out?
Giants left long ships. Tracking Artemis. Blood won't be back. That's like 14 words.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say those words. I cast sending before we go to bed, and you use those words.
Okay. He says in return, the elected leaders, the leaders of 10 towns met today he has been appointed temporary leader until an election can be held.
Ooh, spiffy.
The leaders of 10 towns met today, and Markham has been appointed temporary leader until another leader can be chosen. I say that to people. To the party.
He says, THX HB.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, hurry back. Thanks, hurry back. And yeah, I don't know. Good,
Yeah.
Thanks, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're texting, guys.
Ever since like you guys are told that there's some sort of magical gem that was made using the blood, some wizard, that they can track the bloodline. Zurich is he doesn't take his eyes away from the direction of the ocean.
Yeah, I suppose they'll be coming back for you soon.
He is although he's clearly afraid, he's staying calm and stuff. You do even occasionally hear him reciting a prayer.
I was getting which I was sending for tongues, but sending is going to be a lot more useful, I think.
But you sometimes catch him reciting a quick little prayer.
How are you holding up, Zurich?
Yeah, they will be coming for you soon. Again, I'm assuming.
He says, as long as I can travel south with you guys when you are going south. He shakes his head. He says, because I can't stay here.
Yeah,
That's very true.
Just because they're frost giants doesn't mean they can't. They can put on some sunscreen, head north, south.
Yeah, well, maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe if I go far enough south, it'll get hot enough where they won't want to come after me.
Yeah.
Right, or find your father, then they'll divert for your father.
He
Because
says,
they're mainly after him.
Well, unless I can find him.
Well, if they're tracking your blood and you and him are in the same place, that will be a bigger signal, won't it?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, we should have just surrendered him, and then they would have found out he didn't have it and had to move on to the next place.
What if it only attracts the closest one?
I mean, they would have to kill him. And then look for the next
Does anyone
Zurich just looks and gulps.
Is anyone versed enough in magic? Is anyone versed enough in magical lore that they may know about how that might work here? Game turns anyone for Arcana?
I have researchers, so I know there's a book in 3 cities that we were in ago, and I had a whole bunch of lore on that.
Garl would say, I can tell you everything about it. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, what do you know?
If I had the ring, they couldn't track it.
And by the
That's
way,
how much I know about it.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, actually, that's probably true, actually.
and by the way, I've read the Ring of Winter. Very cool. Very cool.
Is it like the Casket of Ancient Winters, if you know what that is?
Is it what?
Yeah, I know what it is.
The Casket of Ancient Winters?
Well, I don't know what that is.
That's a Norse mythology marvel kind of thing.
The only thing more powerful than the Ring of Winter is the head of Vecna.
The whole head.
The whole head. The head of Vecna.
What was the ice?
What was it? Was it 3.5 where they had all the Vecna body parts?
First edition on up.
Was it first? I don't even remember. I remember the things because you could have the finger of Vecna and
The hand of Vecna. And the
yeah,
eye.
but then it's the other hand. It was the other hand. It was the fingers.
All right, guys.
And then there was
I call dibs on any body parts of whatever.
the teeth, the
character
jaw,
needs
the leg bone. I can't even remember.
There was
it
the
fucking-
teeth of Dalvernar in the first edition.
Oh,
Dungeon.
great. Why are you telling me that? Now I'm thinking about what powers his genitals had. God. Sorry, guys.
Oh Lord.
But anyways,
The
yeah, I've
cost
read
of
the
the
ring.
effect.
I read the. Of course, I read the Ring of Winter. Yeah, it's fucking tough. It's fucking cool, man. Like,
Oh, speaking of which, Ring of Winter and all that crap, it reminds me of they use it in Dice Camera Action. And what the fuck? I have not seen one episode of Dice Camera Action in like months. What happened to it?
Chris Perkins handed the campaign over to. No, sorry, that's what he did for the other guys there.
Acquisitions.
For Acquisitions Inc.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. There hasn't been anything. Dude, it could just all be summer holidays and cons and stuff.
Yeah, the last I saw,
Yes,
they were
sir.
going to Ascent, some sort of, where they D&D
Well,
send off party about
the Avernus thing, that whole
Yeah.
descent into
Descent
Avernus,
into
the whole
Avernus.
Baldur's Gate, and the Nine Hells.
Yeah,
thing,
which I
yeah.
didn't see anything about that. I just know that was the last episode, and they were like, and then we're going to do something for this Descent into Inverness thing, and I haven't seen anything. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything Descent of Inverness, nothing since then. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Did it drop off the face of the earth?
They might have, even just for the summer, like I said, summer holidays and cons. They might come back in September with it, or I haven't heard anything. And you know what? I'm so far behind on all of my shows. I've kind of given up.
Okay. I was up to date on
I
Dice.
saw something run by Chris Perkins for Descent into Avernus, but I don't remember what it was.
Did it have Strix and Evelyn?
I believe that Anya Prossett was there, but I don't remember if she was putting evil in or not. Probably was.
Probably.
Anyway, let's go meet some dwarves.
I forgot that that's why that Michael has a crush on her.
I do. Anna
Mm,
Foster is hot.
I forgot why he was getting so upset about Chris Perkins.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out like what. Like,
What do you care? It's
yeah,
Anna.
like, what do you care then? Oh yeah, that's right. I remember why he cares. Cares in his pants.
I do.
And so you guys are talking about all this stuff and all kinds of stuff. And like I said, totally the type of weather where like just below zero, no wind, but the snow is really accumulating. And of course, for visibility's sake, you guys are talking when you realize you've almost stepped right in between them. You've noticed that like the ground slopes down, not a cliff, but like a slope, slopes down, and you realize dark shapes on either side of you, and you guys freeze in your tracks, and you realize that shit, you guys almost walked right by these massive fucking like monoliths.
So how deep is the snow already?
What was her crime name again?
Dude, I would say that the snow is honestly like a good 12 inches.
Oh, okay. So it's not it's not getting up around Garl's neck quite yet.
No. Because like honestly, like it's only fall. Like think about it. It's only like September.
Okay.
But you guys are you guys are that high north though. You guys are honestly that high north. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys are literally in the Arctic.
If we have a frost in September, it's amazing.
Well, you don't even have to be in the Arctic for that. The Afghanistan
Yeah.
at 10,000 feet and above,
Yeah.
you get that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, exactly. It's 10,000 feet. Yeah.
Hey, Cloud can't fly, right?
Not in winter clothing. If you want to
Yep.
take off if you want to say, Dungeon Master, I want to fly, so I'm going to take off my winter clothing.
Okay, just want to
Then
make
you
sure
can't.
we're still in that environment.
I checked it out as far as the rule book. It says 0 or freezing.
Hmm.
and 100 is
There's just a
heat
page
extreme.
with a big 0 on it.
Um,
So, what is the roll if I want to take it off? Is it like a con save or something?
it ends up being a con save, or suffer exhaustion.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's a one-timer? Or
No,
is it every so often?
it's cumulative.
Okay.
And
How often do you
exhaustion is
roll?
cumulative, and you need like So
But I mean, do I have to keep making the roll?
yes,
Yeah. How often do you roll?
every hour.
All right.
Okay, so you
That's
could
nice to
do
know.
combat. That doesn't take an hour, and then put it back on.
I mean, I could
Right.
be exhausted and then go into combat if the roll's not good,
Yeah.
I think it's more of a utility thing I should use it for, rather than trying to fight and do
You
everything
could take
without it.
Yeah.
long level though. I think long level is
Oh.
just ability checks.
Power just went out.
Awesome. Maybe
That,
no, you're getting.
aren't you the funny man?
So we're waiting for the dwarves, right?
Did your
Okay.
power go out or did it
Okay.
flick?
No, it's out.
Oh, so do we need to go on hold?
No, I don't know. Whatever. I'm hoping it should come on soon. It probably should.
I'm just thinking of your phone and it being not plugged in.
Well,
Do you know what?
play it till it
Though,
drops.
I'm at 100% though right now because I am
Hmm.
plugged in. So, hold on. I'm gonna put it back in its case.
Okay.
I'm also gonna go take a look outside to see if there's like a tornado or something I should be.
Damn the tornado! We're D&D in it.
I know,
That tornado's not real. This is right now.
but at least I'll grab a bottle of water or something.
Holy water, sprinkle down in the home. That way it won't end up being undead.
Double tap. All right. Yeah, my phone's at 100%. I was plugged in right up until now. So. That should be good. For at least an hour and a half. So you realize that you're just about walking right between these two big monoliths. About 5 feet by 5 feet, but about 20 feet high. Rough hewn, every 30 feet. And because of the snow, your visibility is quite poor. But you can see that they do go on to your left and to your right. And you can see that the ground slopes down and the rest is lost into visibility. These stones have very clearly, like I said, they're rough hewn, but very clearly carved into them is an anvil on a diamond pattern.
Did Ogric tell us to stop here?
Yes.
Yeah,
We were told
okay.
to stop and wait, to not cross, or else they would kill
Yeah.
us. So why don't we test that pattern? Who wants to walk across it?
Well,
Nope.
Carl will say, why don't we hold up until the storm eases so we can see what's in front of us?
That's a good idea.
That's good.
Does anybody have Lehman's tiny hut?
No,
Cloud raises his hand and just starts trying to fly up. But he can't.
I am not wizard, so I do not have tiny hat.
You can kind of do like the spaceman hop, in the clothes. Like you can kind of do like a space, kind of like the moon man hop.
I have
Oh, Bard?
Flap your wings enough so you can get a
That's
little
how,
bit of.
Oh yeah,
Little
yeah.
bit of lift,
Bards
but-
can take tiny hat, but yeah, no, clerics can.
If we decide to stop, Garl will start trying to make a snow cave for us to get into, or at least himself.
Oh, for sure, because like these monoliths, they call them by the way in the book, menhirs. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Menhirs, not
Yeah,
sure.
menhir. Yeah, menhir, menhir.
I don't know what that means.
That's neither did I. I had to look it up. That means like monolith, standing stone, and the veil that Iron Master is in is bordered by menhirs. They say.
Ah.
So, if the visibility was clear, you would see that this whole valley, this whole veil is outlined. Do you want to go outside, Mickey? Come on, go outside. It might rain.
That's a
and it
cool
might be
image.
slow.
Though.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because like I said, it's up in the Arctic and the tundra, so everything's so barren, and then there's this crevice, deep veil at the shore. I think Iron Master is kind of near the shore.
But here, I'll pop the map up again for right there, and you should be able to see Iron Master right. Let's see. Let's make it a nice bright yellow, so we have that. That one. Right there is Iron Master, or the yellow bouncing ball, and then that crevice, or like the what cliffs of Dover, kind of right up around where it trickles there, and you got that by the Icewind Dale coming on down, like a sloping crevice into that up that kind of goes, could be a river or something along that line up towards Brian Shander.
I think that's the Iron Road.
All right, it could be.
Is it a road?
It's hard to tell.
There's a road that connects.
Well, there's a road from Brian
to the
Shander.
main road.
There's a main road that goes from Brian Shander
to the mountains.
Huddlestone.
Yeah.
And then from south of Huddlestone is one going into Iron Master.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I didn't exactly know what else to do with.
Yeah.
But this other one where Icewind Dale comes down over to where Iron Master is, where the movie.
It might be a river.
It looks like it could be a river, and it's a little bit more of a slope on the Icewind Dale side, where Iron Master side up there looks like the straight cliffs, like around Dover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as that,
Okay.
That give everybody a good idea, and
yeah.
Okay, then I'll drop the map.
No, it doesn't matter. You can keep the map because I was actually thinking about it because there is a lot of location stuff, and I thought, well, do you know what? Is it hard for you guys to acquire a map, even if you guys don't have one exactly at this point right now? You guys will get one. It's not hard to get a map, so there's a lot of locations, and honestly, because like I said, I can't see. Like I don't know who might have missed that, but I'm fucking blind. So to look at a map is kind of
really I don't know.
Impossible. And I was hoping I could get one of my friends to have a good discussion with me, but right now it's summertime. There's no one around. There's no one here around who will understand geekdom and maps and shit enough to actually sit down and have a conversation with me.
Mm.
There's no one to actually do that. So I'm like, well, do you know what? If you guys got to use a map and then you guys tell me how you're going to chart the trail, right? Because all those locations marked on the map are in this adventure because little things happen as you enter each one.
Okay.
It's very filled out. So if you guys are for the hell of it, like, fuck it, what's this town over here? Do it, right?
Okay.
Like, it's kind of, but
That's
One
good
out
to
of
know.
10 pounds down. Let's hit the other 9.
Well, if we traveled along the road, we probably would have traveled through Hunterstone on our way here.
no, because you guys were brought here by the giant on the flying castle.
Oh,
Remember?
no, I
He dropped
mean
you-
when we
he
went to
dropped you
Arma,
guys-
when we went to Armaster, I mean, or did we go through the thing?
We went.
Is
through
Iron
the road
Master
in
that far away?
It's a good way. It's a good ways, unless you go as the crow flies. But if you took the road, the road from Brian Shander would take you. If you stayed on the road, would take you through Huddlestone.
Yeah,
And
but we weren't following the road. We were following the giant trail.
well, and that's what I'm saying. We went.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
we went
okay.
through the
I got
wilderness.
Well, I
We
might
went
have
through
to
the
move.
wilderness.
See, there you go. See, that was my whole worry about it was continuity. Because in my mind, I was picturing
It's fine.
Iron Master this side of Huddlestone.
If
I
we,
was
if we were
picturing north of
if we
Huddlestone.
were following the
Yeah,
if we were following
where's
the giant
Fire
trail,
Shear?
that makes sense.
Where's Fire Shear?
Fire
Fire.
Shear. I don't see it here.
well, hold on. I'll move the map around so we can see Fire Shear.
Google real quick. Where is Fire
It's
Shear?
down. If you
Good luck.
followed the road from Brian Shar through Huddlestone and stayed straight on that road and to the coast, you would take it to Fire Shear. But there's you have 2 turnoffs on the road after Huddlestone.
Mhm.
One that goes down to the east of Fire Shear and south, and the other one that goes to the north and west. It'd be northwest to Iron Master, which actually Iron Master is north of Huddlestone.
Mhm.
But to get to it by the road, you'll go south, then go back up north.
Okay, well then that doesn't ruin continuity because you guys did go cross country.
Yeah, we
Then
followed the
that
giant
doesn't
trail.
then
so
that
it's
doesn't
fine.
ruin continuity.
But yeah,
I think
that
I think we'll probably go back by the road though. It's probably safer.
You guys wait. And you guys wait. And it's cold. And it's boring.
the
and it's-
storm still.
You could
What?
you ask, you roll. You roll me a d20. You tell me if it's still
I got a crit. I wasted a
Oh,
crit.
it's snowing even heavier.
Damn. Carl is definitely making a snow cave.
Yeah.
On everybody.
Easy, because it's drifted up against them in here enough. Easy for you
Yeah.
enough
Wait.
to.
That you either
Always
get
get
in,
some shelter.
you either get in here or you freeze to death.
Yeah, I'm getting. I may have cold resistance, but it's still fucking freezing.
Well, like I said, it's not really even the cold. It's the amount of snow.
Yeah.
It's the amount of snow. Like it's, only like
Yeah.
Right
five,
now.
I
five,
expect
just below freezing. But the snow, it's snowing heavy
Right and right now. Once
off the coast.
I expect even in this like snow cave, we'll have to clear it out periodically.
and generally you'll just let it go. And you got it. You'll have it big enough so you don't suffocate. air wise, but if we got a bunch of people in there, we may have to keep a
Yeah.
air hole to do that. But
Yeah.
once
Sounds
it,
good.
once
I
it,
have I have create or destroy water. I can literally force an air hole.
but once Garl has the cave made, he'd be in there looking through his stuff, trying to see if he in his pack to see if he had a candle, and he comes up short. He don't.
Look in the wagon.
He was looking in his
Uh,
backpack. That's what I've been going through on what I've actually said was my equipment that I put and brought with me.
I
Bill
did
Dora?
Explorer's pack, so I've
Actually,
got an Explorer's pack, so I've got some. I've probably got torches, right?
Bill Dora, she's helping like dig a shelter. She doesn't seem to be brought down by the weather. She's like in pretty normal spirits all the time. Sirik, he's doing stuff as well, like helping along too, trying to keep himself distracted. Bill Dora will also make
I'll
sure
help
to
where I
give the
can
horse
as
feed.
well.
And she says, like she opens like a bag, and she says, "Oh look, there's extra rations here." She says, "The sheriff asked me to put this bag in the wagon, and he looks like there's 10 days of rations."
Did he put any extra wine in there?
She looks, and she hands you a skin that's like liquid, which is a good sign because if it was water, it could be frozen.
Yeah. Excellent. Praise be to the sheriff.
Yeah, she smiles and she like pulls out like a piece of smoked meat and starts crouching on it, starts gnawing on it.
I'm on a liquid diet.
Hey, Smiley, you got any candles in that big old bag that you seem to pull everything else out of?
Okay, well, she starts rummaging around in the wagon, looking for stuff, lifting up tarps, opening bags.
I don't have a candle. I did not get any.
Meanwhile, Claude.
Anybody got a priest pack?
Meanwhile,
No, I've got the Explorer's pack, so I have torches, but having an
Claude
unprotected
is
fight.
over there with the horse, producing flame, making sure him and the horse are warm.
Like I said, it's a North horse. I mean, it would probably appreciate to be in a shed or whatever, but it's dealing with it. It's it's more the snow and the cold. The thing is, like, to pull the wagon in the snow.
Yeah.
Harder traction, you slip.
Yeah, but at least the snow isn't super deep yet. It's only like 16 inches.
I mean,
So not like
not
that's
super
half
deep.
That's
like
half of Garl's height.
like
I tell you, we get 16 inches of snow, the fucking city shuts down. All right.
okay.
we have been
the
shut
city
down.
would shut down, but I honestly think about kids. My dad passed away a couple of years ago, but he was old, right? He was old school. Not only he's old school, but he lived in like rural Saskatchewan. So rural Saskatchewan in like the 40s, it was pretty much fucking Little House on the Prairie, right? Like the first motorized vehicle around my dad's area was like one of the rich neighbors got a tractor, right? Everything was fucking horse and wagon. So, and my dad always talks about what year it would have been. I don't know, like around 54. That like there was so much snow that they were like housebound all winter. And it wasn't until April 10th. April 10th, my dad's like, God, it's got to be fucking nice enough to leave the house. So he hooked up the horses to a wagon. I was like, gonna break a road and go to town. There was so much fucking snow the horses were falling and tripping. He said he was never so scared in his life, right? Because the horses are like the snow was like 4 or 5 feet deep, so the horses are pushing it with their chests. And they start kind of wanting to leap over it, and they start getting fucking tangled, and they trip and they fall, and there's so much fucking snow. Like yeah. So that's a lot of snow, 4 or 5 feet. Especially around here. Like, if you live on the coast, like in fucking Nova Scotia, shit like that, they get like 10 feet of snow. Okay, that's stupid. That's like, but that's a coast, right? Like where I am, if we have 3 feet all winter, that's a lot of snow.
See, we get that 10 feet up on the Tug Hill Plateau.
Right.
Lake effect.
Right. You would get that, that lake effect, exactly. Like, that's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
just the chimneys of the houses are sticking out.
Besides, they use those big runway snow blowers, those Oshkoshes, throw it up over the side, and you got to pretty much just the roads are up there, and it's like that snow tunnels.
Yeah,
driving through the wall. I mean, the sides of the roads are taller than your vehicle.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I remember here one time, like I was in high school, and literally it snowed 16 inches overnight. Well, yeah, the whole town shut down. Of course it did. You can't, cars can't go anywhere, but nothing. My friends showed up at my house on snow machines. Like, it was awesome. I'm watching TV. I was in here outside, and the two of my friends showed up on snow machines. So we went and tore around the city all day.
Yeah.
On Arctic Cat.
How long does it take for the snow to stop?
Well, it's snowing tonight. I don't know. It could be done by morning. It could also take a week. So you guys are like breaking camp, trying to break a shelter.
Perhaps we could ask our druid, if he's so in tune with nature, if he could determine when the snow is about to start.
Oh, he definitely can. He casts druid craft to himself.
And how specifically does that work? I don't know if I've ever actually used that spell before to actually test the weather. So let's see. Would someone read that to me?
Yep. Gotcha. Whispering to the spirits of nature, you create one of the following effects within range. I'm going to skip all the dumb ones.
Mm-hmm.
You create a tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours. The effect might manifest as a golden orb for clear skies, a cloud for rain, falling snow, and so on.
Okay. Well, then let's roll weather for tomorrow. You roll your casting. You roll a d20 for the temperature.
That is an 8.
You know what, the temperature is supposed to stay the same, so around freezing. Roll me for the wind. D20.
Natural 1.
It should be calm again. Now here's the big one for the snow. Roll me a D20, please.
That is a 17.
And it looks like it's going to keep snowing. But maybe not quite as hard. But maybe not quite as hard.
Perhaps we should start a fire or something for smoke, just to let the dwarves of Iron Master know that someone is.
The only thing wooden for like miles is like the wagon.
Don't we have firewood in the wagon though?
Oh yeah, you guys could.
Any firewood in the wagon?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's probably frozen right now, so we'll have to thaw it out with.
No, you don't have to thaw wood.
Only if it's wet, but it could be wet if we didn't have a tarp or something over it to keep it from.
Yeah, I guess.
But we still have.
No, you guys are tarped up.
I'm assuming somebody has cantrips to burn. We can burn
Uh,
wood. I want a good smoky thing. I want smoky smoke. I
We
want
can
something
we can
no, we're
collect
camping out on their border.
we can collect
I don't-
the pony dung and throw that on there too. That'll smoke it. And burn it.
I do not have anything that can light it, so hopefully someone else does.
I produce
What?
flame and just keep.
I have a
warming the horse.
tinderbox, but
Oh, produce
Yeah.
flame will work. Tinderbox will work. Even
As long as it's not wet, it'll be okay.
yeah, even I believe prestidigitation. No, if you say you guys have wood to burn in the wagon, then you guys would have proper firewood, and it would be like
My
You
wagon
did
content.
prestidigitation, didn't you? Well, I've got that as one of my cantrips.
yeah, exactly. Even that would
yeah,
work the same as
lighting
flint and
lighting a
steel
fire
and
is not hard
tinderbox.
even without magic.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I have.
Don't
listed.
be a savage, man. We have
10
magic.
torches, tinder, wineskin, 2 50-foot ropes, a mess kit, a hammer, not like a war hammer, but a hammer, 10 pittons, a tent, a healer's kit, a portable ram, a bag of caltrips, 10 flasks of oil. There we go. That'll start for the fire too if we need to. A shovel, a grappling hook, a 10-foot chain, a miner's pick, and a bullseye lantern.
Right there. That would heat up the little ice cave nicely.
Okay.
Not melt it.
I'm just more or less looking for.
In
smoke
fact,
up.
you guys, I'm thinking to myself, realism, and you guys probably wouldn't have firewood
Yeah, I don't have it listed.
because I mean, where do you get firewood from?
With
there's
cow
no
dung
trees.
and lantern.
No, it would honestly. You guys would probably have like some sort of like a soapstone lamp or a bowl
Mhm.
and whale oil.
Ooh.
Or dry dung.
Like
Well,
right, but
the
even
reason I'm
that.
saying the reason I imagine we had firewood is because we would always had it stocked up in the thing
Yeah.
from when
Well,
we were
but
back
you
in
would
It's not a high
you
commodity.
would have some, but
yeah.
honestly,
You pick up firewood.
for heat, whale oil or a fish oil or something like that. That's what it would be.
Well, I had 10 flasks of oil that I picked up from the store in Nightstone.
Mhm.
But that and the
Yeah, you
lantern-
have the lamp oil, but that's in the wagon.
Yeah.
If you guys had supplies, that's what it would most likely be for heat. You guys would have like some sort of like I'm just trying to think like what do they do in the Arctic? And that is what they do.
They share
Like-
body heat.
Well, body heat,
I'm not so much
good
about
clothes,
as much as
and
I'm
literally a whale oil lamp. Like, why do you think there was a whole whale fucking hunting industry? The whole world was lit and heated by whale oil.
Well,
Yeah.
Hey,
it was make those great little retainers called corsets.
yeah, and those everything, like everything.
Yep.
Fuck the
We
whole
used-
fucking world
used quite a bit
before
of
the 20th century was run on fucking whale.
Yeah, used quite a bit of the beast when they took it for as much as they could, so, which I give them credit for that.
So it would honestly be that. It would be some sort of like stone or possibly metal lamp or bowl. Because that's even what people would use in their homes, right? People aren't fucking burning wood. If you got wood, you use it to build. You don't just burn it. What a waste of wood.
Dude, I do.
Well,
Every time I walk Grindel, I pick up a stick from the park and bring them back home for my fire pit in the backyard.
yeah, but that's also here and different, and you're not burning it every day all the
Yeah.
time for survival. And like, so, you guys are breaking camp, eating, kind of getting used to like the idea of sitting here, hunkering down in the snow,
Making
and
smoke.
for the first time, you guys hear something other than your own voices in the wind. You hear a wolf howl.
I hope that's not something that's gonna hunt us.
Well, Garl will say, the storms do bring out the predators to get the weak and the easy prey. Let's see here. Excuse me.
I went out for a minute. Last I heard was we heard a voice. What was the voice? What did it say?
Oh, not a voice. I didn't say a
How?
voice. A wolf howl.
Oh,
Distant wolf howl. So for the first time, you hear something other than the blowing of the wind and your own voices. You hear a wolf howl. Maybe that's what it was.
maybe that's it. Unless the wolves sound like wood or wolves these days, I'm not too happy. But say, Levine, maybe we should cut the. Fuck it. I don't care. Let the smoke blow up. If wolf season comes here, so be it.
You guys, after a few moments, hear another wolf howl.
Closer?
Answered by yet another one. Possible, and it sounds like even like at least, and all seeming to come from different directions. Although the wind is like the falling snow does mute sound as much, almost as much as it obscures visibility.
Claude will begin sealing the entrance with snow.
Okay, I'll just want to know where exactly where everybody is. Silence, where are you?
Yep, here.
Yeah, but where are you? Where is your character? Are you outside? Are you in the snow shelter? Are you in the wagon? Are you
Well, they're
tap
basically
It's
dancing on
really
top of
snowy,
a
and we've been arguing and we've been
men here?
discussing on how to light a fire. I'm going to be in a snow shelter.
Okay. And Nicodemus
Snow shelter.
and Farai,
also in the snow shower, I think.
Cloud.
Sealing up the entrance to the snow shelter.
Oh, holy shit. Never mind. I'm leaving the snow shelter. I'm like, if there are wolves out there, they're going to find our pony Bill, and I can't have that. I will
Garl?
bundle up, throw my thing on, and step outside to buy Bill.
Garl will, since he's smaller than most of the rest,
Mhm.
he'll start burrowing a hole into the snow, out of the snow cave,
Mhm.
but not out from the front, but kind of out to the rear, and try to make like a little private room.
Okay.
And what basically that's the thematrics to put there for he's hiding.
Mhm. Okay, Nicodemus, you come crawling out of the shelter.
I'm coming out as well.
The horse is there. As soon as the horse spots you, it like swivels its ears and nickers at you guys, and it moves around so that like snow slides off of its back, and Someone roll me a wisdom animal handling, Far Eye or Nicodemus. Both of you, whatever.
I'll give it a go. That would be a total of 22.
You know that's the sign of a nervous horse.
Okay.
He kind of shuffles his feet.
I am then going to pull the tent out of the wagon.
Okay.
And cover the horse as best as possible, and also kind of as a blanket to keep warm. And I will cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
No.
Nice.
I'll be within range if you want to cast at me as well.
Well, everybody I suppose will be in range,
Yeah.
but I'm including the horse. Is the point? So it's like me and 6 people.
Yeah.
Or 6 people total, including me. Let me see right here. So there are 5 of us, and the horse would count. That would be 6 total.
Is there 5 of us, including the NPC?
There is not. NPCs may go bye-bye then. Let me see here. There are 2 NPCs.
Yeah, there's 6 of you guys, 2 NPCs.
6 of us?
Or 5 of you guys.
Yeah.
5 of us on the horse.
And then the horse is 8.
Yeah.
So
Well, that
who is not covered in the Pass Without Trace? Garl, you are not
Garl wouldn't be.
without trace.
But Garl dug out the hole and went out a little further. He was outside the range, and he's hiding on his own. And
Yeah,
he's
you are not in the Pass Without Trace, and the other person not without the Pass Without Trace
Cloud.
would be...
Because he can take a hit.
It's not either of our NPCs. I'm concentrating on this, so I don't want to be one, especially if I'm by the horse. And Spar Eye's by the horse, even though he's wearing fucking full plate, whatever.
Hey, I've got my shield out, so hopefully, if they do get me, I can take it.
Somebody in the shelter. I'm going with. I'm sorry, Cloud. I'm going with you because you're in the shelter.
Yeah, no, good job. And I assume the 2 NPCs are behind me, cowering.
All
somewhere.
right.
And they are covered by the Pass Without Trace.
Surprisingly,
So,
they're not really cowering. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're
they're
badass.
like as cautious and as worried as everyone else, but they're not foolhardy, but they're not cowards. Neither of them.
My goal is to protect the horse.
Okay.
Mm.
And
I'll be
that was
beside with the horse, I'll
really
be hiding from
that
them.
was a really good idea. You cast that spell.
And cover it so that the snow will fall on the blanket so that they won't see. And
Yeah.
if the horse starts to whimper, if they get closer, I will have silence.
Nice.
Okay.
And I covered the shelter's entrance so that no smoke or light will come out.
Horses are like kind of simple. Out of sight, out of mind with them. So you're under this canvas tarp.
So it's covered with snow, and I want to cover
Yeah,
it with snow so you don't think
But
it's
you're like
about
under
it.
this canvas tarp with this horse. You can feel like its body heat, smell its smell, hear the tink of the harness. But there's the power back on. There's that familiar sensation of
The hum.
reality being muffled with your Pass Without Trace. You know, you're kind of peeking out. Far Eye, you're kind of like sitting in the wagon or beside the wagon
Yeah.
with them.
Otherwise, sword drawn, shield up, waiting
Yeah.
to pounce on any fucking wolf that attacks my horse. I don't-
indeed.
When you see figures approaching,
From which direction?
kind of all directions,
All directions.
Surrounding us.
except from the Vale, which is Iron Master. They are not coming from behind the line of the Menhires, but you guys are pretty
Alright.
much right against a Menhire, right? And they are coming from like your left, your right, forward, right. They're just not coming from behind.
Smart
You
fucking
can
wolf.
see. You can see. It looks like more than 10 human figures
Human figure. That's different.
in furs, not in fur parkas and boots, but in like furs with spears and with axes and
Barbarian
the
of the north.
ding 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 ding, and they are approaching cautiously and silently, and
Hmm.
I just gotta look here to see how
If they're people, I'm not so concerned. It was wolves I was worried about. Oh, unless they're werewolves.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually. Probably not though.
But do werewolves stand on 2 legs or 4?
Yeah, it depends.
Mhm.
You
They
know, perhaps
they
these
walk
are dwarves.
they
Perhaps we should
they
go out
walk
and
on they walk on 2 legs in the morning and 4 legs in the afternoon.
And
what
3
the
legs
fuck
at night.
here?
No,
Right,
scratch.
Whoa.
I know. So, like werewolves can take in this game can take the form of the human or a hybrid form, or they can take the form of a wolf. So
Scratch that. They're probably not dwarves because none of them are coming from Iron Master. Therefore, they're
yeah,
not friendly.
they're coming from everywhere except our master.
Would the dwarves themselves be barbarian?
Possibly.
That sounds cool.
I don't
There's
think
Carl.
really
There's Carl using the stuff that bird calls there.
He could be. Maybe trying to get their attention the other way.
That's a clever move.
sound does a penguin make?
Penguins make a horrible sound.
Do they?
Absolutely.
I, fig-
Oh, it depends which ones you're talking about. Some of them are
I-
screeching.
I figured they always just come on up politely and ask, "What do you want to drink, sir?"
So,
May I have this dance, Miss
Fuck, I
Penguin?
hate it when they do that.
Penguin?
so is there any point in hiding right now because they can see me, right? Or is this before they see it? They see me through the snow or whatever.
Well, we're kind of in a hazed reality with the Pass Without Trace and the snow, and we're hidden under a thing.
All right.
Good chance
I'll
we see them before they see us.
right. Well, I'll roll stealth with disadvantage then, because I'm wearing armor.
I suppose I could touch. Cancel out that disadvantage.
Okay. I'll roll once then. Crit.
Ooh.
So, 30.
That's it. You have your plus 10 due to the Pass Without Trace, and that's all.
Hmm.
You have your plus 10 due to the Pass Without Trace, and that's all.
Yeah.
Well, just imagine if I had guided you.
They. Jeez, I don't know because that Pass Without Trace just puts you way beyond their perception.
Wow, did you know that silence is a ritual spell?
No, I didn't actually.
Now you do.
Damn.
It's not going to be coming to a factor now. I was just looking it up to see if it were concentration, and it is, and so is Pass Without Trace. So if I need to switch, if the horse starts making noise, I need to switch to silence. We'll lose the Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I honestly don't know what to say because, like I said, that puts your perception. So they're gonna come like investigate the area, but
Then move along.
pretty
Can we-
much
Can we determine if they're dwarves?
they are not. And in fact, they don't even really say anything. All that they do, they kind of investigate the area. Suddenly, one of them tilts his head up and holds his hand to his mouth, and he howls like a wolf. And they leave, going alongside the menhirs.
I'm okay with that.
At least we didn't have to fight them.
After a while, once it's all safe, once it's all clear, what's her name? Not Belinda. My brain is tired.
Eldora?
Bildora.
Dora.
She says, Wolf Tribe.
Care to
Those-
elaborate?
She says, motioning with her hand kind of all around. This whole area, there's many tribes of barbarians. Some of which trade, like the Elk tribe, but some, like the Wolf tribe, she shakes her head. She says, don't usually meet on friendly terms. They probably noticed our trail, even with the snow, but because of the wagon and stuff, they probably thought
yeah.
we would be easy pickings. But she shrugs. I guess with your magic, they just never noticed.
Never underestimate the power of a few stiff drinks.
Yep.
Dull one sight.
Sirik even nods. He says, Wolf Tribe especially. He says, the word has it out that right now they're hungry. So he kind of shrugs.
That's scary. They just let everyone else know we're hungry.
Basically implying cannibalism
Oh.
is the rumors going around.
So they are humans, though, right?
Yeah,
They're just wolf fans. Okay.
tribal warriors and berserkers.
Okay.
This time,
So would that pass it the Totem Warrior or pass it Berserker?
NPC stat block in the monster manual.
All right.
Cool. Oh, glad we avoided that. Now,
Whew, yeah.
on dwarves.
Hold on. Mom, power go out where you were? Did the power go out where you were? No. It just came back on. Oh, really? Yeah. Like the TV just booted back up. Okay, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a bit of a waiting game. Well, the phone did ring earlier.
I'm glad it didn't happen that while the wolf was investigating. So my cell phone go off like.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a waiting game. It feels like it's. Cocksucking gorgeous out now.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of grub, like rations, did the frost giant have on him?
Did the frost giant have?
Yeah.
Seal?
He was eating a seal.
Okay, we could have some seal meat then. Could have packed that away with us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you eat
Anything-
the entire
Other
seal,
than
everything
the
about
polar
it.
bear ate lots of it, but there'd still be a lot left. There would be. Seals are fucking big, man.
Yeah.
And very
I'm not
nutritious
worried
as
about-
long as you eat
And if
everything on the
if the druid did eat like 100 pounds of seal meat in an hour, he'd puke it out.
So we just
And then as a bird person, he eats it again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cooked. It's a stew.
so we keep waiting for the dwarves, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but how much wine do we have?
I would say it ends up being a waiting game, but honestly, not that much longer. Let's say next morning.
Uh-huh.
Early that morning,
All of the nights are long. Morning, it's still dark.
Cloud will produce what it should be now, a pretty aged grape, giant grape.
Frozen solid, but it's delicious because it's frozen.
And he hands it to Nicodemus.
It's like sorbet.
You probably make ice wine out of that.
Yeah, make ice wine out of that. Totally. That morning, you guys are just figuring out what to eat, what to do, how to start your day. About when, let's roll. Well, no, we know it's lightly snowing.
Yeah.
When you guys are getting ready down in the valley, you guys spot appears to be a line of torches
I think we're going to have visitors.
way down in the vale.
Okay, these are past where the dwarves are?
Yeah, on the side from where the dwarves are. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's good.
Eventually, they kind of dip out of sight for a while because, just to lay the land and back into sight. And eventually, you can see that, like, moving zigzag switch back up the side.
Let's stand up and yell, wave my arms. Hey!
You see, like, one waves his arm.
Do you have any dwarven spirits?
Mm.
We're running low over here. It's an emergency.
Anything warming?
You see the torches move a little bit quicker, trudging through the snow. They're dwarves, so their movement is 25 feet, not 30.
Yeah.
But
they don't have good goat legs.
But they're used to the snow, which by now would be like difficult terrain.
Yep.
Doesn't really seem to be slowing them down too much. They're dwarves. They could just fucking trudge right through it, Eventually, you can see that, there's 5 dwarves. All in armor, all in weapons, all in furs, like big hoods. You can't tell where the beards end and the hoods begin, right? Like, it's just...
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell by the squat form that they are dwarves. They approach right up to the men here, and as they do, they all pass by. They all touch one of the mahirs. They just touch it. Not like they're releasing a spell, not like they're triggering anything. They're just touching it in reverence. Like when you're in, like, Rome and people will touch the feet of the statues, right? They just
like
touch it reverently. Just touch it reverently as they pass by.
Yeah, whenever you pass the statue of Daniel Boone, you rub its foot for good luck.
What does that one look like? What does that monument look like? Monolith look like that they're touching?
20 feet tall, 5 feet by 5 feet, rough-hewn stone with a nicely carved triangle and anvil pattern or symbol.
All right, cool.
And they say, one of them speaks and says in, like, and you can see that they do have, like, flickering torches, which they just, are clearly using so that they would be sighted or seen. And they say, "Well met. On behalf of Iron Master, welcome and thank you for obeying our traditions. We can begin this conversation as friends. He says,
According to my satyr traditions, friendly conversations must always start with a pint or a shot or something. Do you happen to have any?
I do.
Well, then, let us both observe each other's traditions, and I will reach into my backpack and pull out a mug.
Okay. Well, he breaks out like or he motions to one of the guys who like takes off his backpack and will take like a small keg out, enough for everyone to have like a drink, because it's kind of like if you invite someone into your house and you give them salt, right?
I do not hand people salt who come into my house. Am I a rude guest because of this? I mean, am I a rude host? I offer them, whatever. Hey, I have beer, coffee, water, whatever, Can I get you something? Never once have I offered anybody salt, even though I do have salt. I'll add that to my list now. Would you like some salt? I have salt.
Yes, please.
If you wish, here you go.
How much? 10 pounds.
I usually just let them live.
I don't have 10 pounds
Let
of
him
salt.
live.
Here is a 1 pound container of coarse sea salt. And then going up into the cabinet of regular, iodized table salt, it is practically full minus 1 salt shaker thing worth. How much is it? I have almost 2 full pounds of salt in the house.
Is it like a cup of sugar, or is it, hey, welcome to my house, do you want some salt?
Can I get you anything? Would you like this? Would you like some salt? I have salt.
Can you step across the threshold?
Sorry, are we supposed to be?
Down there?
Are we supposed to be 6 level?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have what we're talking then.
No,
It could come from Russia, the giving of bread and salt.
I assume salt, because in cold areas you need to make food last longer.
Salt is life.
Flavor. There's a bunch of cultures that use it for different household meanings and stuff. They got old rituals that nowadays a lot of them don't get practiced.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Southern California, so snow, cold, those are foreign concepts to me growing up.
I mean, some cultures believe evil spirits can't trespass across the salt line.
Yeah, that was in Supernatural.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen one episode
What's
of it.
Supernatural?
It's a TV show. There's like 15 seasons of it. I've seen one episode in which case they're like, here, stand behind the salt, as some ghoulish thing was coming towards them. The spirit can't get you behind the salt. And so they made the salt line, and this thing's coming up, and then it stepped onto the salt and right over it. And they're like, holy shit.
It's fucking hilarious. It's coming full speed. Oh, I feel so safe now.
Yeah. And he just walks right through, and they're like, oh my god, it turned out it was a crazy person. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So after you guys, pour the ale,
all right, I'll
have
bless
it.
it.
Cheers.
Give
Oh,
blessing
you're gonna
to
bless
Buster.
it? Wow.
Yeah.
They're impressed by the reverence that you're paying to their.
Bless it. Take a drink, and then good. No matter if it's good or not. This is excellent. What I've heard of the dwarven tales of their brewing does not compare to the actual quality of it. It is beyond all the greatness I've heard about it. This is excellent.
And it is pretty good. And he says, this is just part of our ration so that we don't freeze. He says, now that I know, and he wipes the froth from his frozen beard with the back of his bare hand. He's taking his mittens off. And he says, "You've come here for a reason. What is it? How may we..."
What it is. Do we have a token to give you from some lady in Bryn Shannon?
Aldgrid Brighthelm.
Yep.
Ah.
I should really start taking notes.
I've just written down a bunch of names
Uh-huh.
with a little description of what they are like. I just wrote down Gerald Starfold, first time leader.
Okay, see, there you go. That's notes.
I just go back and listen to the videos. They're my memory, my notes.
Okay, so we're handing them the token.
What were we supposed to tell? He had a message. Oh my god.
Cloud will present a gold coin along with the token, try and hand it to him as well, not understanding what we're doing.
He says, "If you come on a behalf of Clan Brighthelm business," he says, "please be patient, but we will go get a representative of the Brighthelm clan."
Can we not enter, Iron Master?
I'm afraid not.
As
He
you-
says that's one tradition that also will stand.
If it is your tradition, then it shall be respected. Would you like some seal meat?
I've had enough for today.
And we might
Right.
warn you that members of the wolf tribe of barbarians is patrolling and sniffing around your borders. Granted, they have at least the sense to stay away from passing these, but they are awfully near, and I just think that you should be aware of that.
He nods and strokes his beard. He says, "Doesn't surprise me, but it's good to know we can keep an eye out for them." He says,
Here they're starving and taking to extreme methods.
Ooh. And then Cloud will say, "And giants," while he peels back the tarp, revealing the giant head.
that just showing like dwarves, giants
Yeah, we took
decapitate head. That's like opening like your hood of your muscle car to like car guys. Like now those dwarves are like they were gonna go get. Now they're like hanging around for like a half hour talking about this giant with you guys. They love it. They love it. They think that's the greatest thing. You like suddenly just show them a giant head. They're loving that. That's like,
Cloud pulls out a giant eye.
oh,
Oh,
And
and
then two
one of
Yeti
them will
eyes.
buy it off you. He
He's found
offers
his
you
people.
10 gold right now.
Cloud throws 10 gold at him.
You still need to learn how to use it. Don't worry about that. He'll get there.
He doesn't know if that's a trick or not. So
Gar-
he'll gather up your
Gar-
coins and hand them to one of your friends. And he says,
I'll take it.
and he says to you, Faray, he says, if you sell me one of those eyes, 10 gold I'll give you.
meaning
All right.
you give him eye, he'll give you 10 gold pieces. 10 of those, you see, you'll have 10 more. Minus the eye, though. You won't have the eye no more. I will go bye-bye. 10 gold pieces arrive.
While
Just
this
gives
is
him
going
the
on,
eye, not understanding, and walks away without the gold.
I'll take. I'll happily take the gold off the dwarf if you will give it.
while this
I
is
think
going
you might
on,
be pushing it.
Hey, I happen to kill
Well,
the
Cloud
dwarf.
just gave him the eye, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll give you 10 gold for an eye.
Perhaps you
I get 20 gold. Cool.
And he kind of tosses it up and checks the balance, and he says, there's a game we used to play when we were kids. He says, I think I can remember all the rules, but now I got one of these. We can at least try. He says, but he puts it in a bag on his belt and he says, y'all wait here. We'll be back shortly. Haha, that's a little joke us doors like to use.
Hey, that's
Good
Well,
work.
the Frost Giant war party leader, Troopy. I kill her.
Oh, well,
She led an
don't go
attack on
nowhere.
Red
We'll be
Chandler.
right back.
well,
And he does,
maybe.
and they leave.
More ale
And
would be
it
nice.
doesn't. They are not gone very long, like maybe an hour, hour and a half at the most. But they do come back
More coffee.
While that's
with.
going,
Okay,
while
what?
that's going on, all Garl wants to do and all that hubbub is he's going to cast non-detection on himself.
Okay, you may.
You can do that well, right?
Syracuse Suzail, he's like, how'd you do that? He like inquires a lot about non-detection right now.
Yeah.
When he's like,
Why you got something you gotta hide from prying eyes?
He kind of rolls his eyes. He's like, as if you didn't know, little one. He's
Well,
like,
hand it over here and it'll be safe.
no, it's me.
Well,
Hide from those giants.
well, I can't help you there on that. But if you had like that ring, that object, then I kind of could. But since all I can do is kind of hide myself.
If I had the ring, I would certainly give it away, knowing what.
I wonder, Garl will say. But,
That's something you'll have to discuss with my father if I can ever find him.
Yeah, and what Garl's doing is he's prepping for what he's pondering on whether or not to sneak into Iron Master or not.
Oh dear.
Well, we don't know he's buying that, so.
Does anybody remember the message we're supposed to give? Are we supposed to like ask them for help? Maybe.
I think that's what we're doing. We're here to ask them for like 8.
Yeah.
How about for their dwarf spirit recipe? I want to ask for that too.
Well, he's been so polite to them. I think they might just give you a hint.
Okay.
After only about an hour, maybe 90 minutes at most, you can see by now it is daylight. And the snow isn't as strong as yesterday, so you do eventually see a line of doors approaching. Kind of looks like the familiar bunch, as well as another figure. Quite broad fellow. Also a dwarf. Eventually they approach again. As they come, they all reverently touch the bed here. And the new dwarf, you see he's not wearing a hood. He's actually wearing a helmet. And he's wearing his armor and shield and hammer. And he has a very nice fur cloak, but he's not covered in furs. You can see his armor and his weapons. And he has hair the similar shade as Algreth. And even maybe the color of his eyes. And he says, in a thick accent, well met. I hear you want to speak to someone from the Brighthelm clan. That's me. I'm Gwert. And he slaps himself on the chest and reaches his hand out for a warrior's handshake.
I'll grasp it.
He shakes it very vigorously in his metalled gauntlet. He says,
It's been well met to meet you.
Y'all look like you're a long ways from home. He
I-
says to the centaur, the two tieflings, the Eric Krokra, the
Yeah.
Sturverblin, and you know.
I'm playing a fucking human champion fighter.
Does he see Garl? Has Garl gone trying to sneak into Iron Master?
Not yet. He sees Garl. Garl hasn't done nothing underhanded as of yet.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
Garl was just prepping himself for the day, basically. You could kind of say, since non-detection's 8 hours.
We've been traveling up north from Nightstone, where the giants have launched an attack. Cloud giants launched an attack and stole a monolith, the Nightstone, from Nightstone. And then we have found out later from another good cloud giant named Sephora that the ordning among the giants has been broken. They are now free to do as they will and are not beholden to the higher rankings. And so each giant is trying to raise themselves higher in their rankings. Thus, bold raids are starting out among them, including the one at Bryn Shander by the Frost Giants that we repelled, me by getting the final death blow on Troopy. Have you heard of her? War leader of the Frost Giants? Will not bother us no more.
He's going to be telling that story for a while, I can tell.
He says, I haven't heard of Droofy, but
Powerful Frost Giant war leader she was. She's gone now. She will not plague this land no more.
But Barnabas did show me the eye that you sold him. He says you have a head?
This one was dispatched by Garl on the shore of the
Garl Dragonsbane.
He was left behind. He was wounded in the attack and fell behind as they were retreating from the attack on Bryn Shander. There we followed their tail and came up on him and slew him after questioning, finding out what the giants knew about the attack and their likelihood of result. So we've come here to warn you, to tell you to be on the guard, for the giants are mobilizing and attacking. And also, we bring you the token
ask if
from...
you could send aid to Bryn Shander.
Yes. Requested to you by whatever her name was, who is
All
a
great
guard
Whitehelm.
and a noble member of your house from
Aldrith. He
Aldrith.
says, she's my cousin.
Twice removed.
No.
Oh.
Out of game, isn't she the one who died?
No,
that
No.
was the
That
lady.
That was the mayor.
Asmar, okay.
Devessa Shane, the lady Devessa Shane, the elected leader. She's the one who.
We should include that in there too. The Vessa Shane, the leader of Bryn Shander, is dead in the giant's attack. I was not able to bring her back.
Oh, and
I do
they
believe that
elected
since then, I am capable of bringing back the dead with a stiff enough drink.
They've also
And,
elected a new leader.
Marcus has been elected the new leader for now. New temporary leader for now.
And we also need safe passage for this guy.
And he just waves, kind of sheepishly.
He is one of the main prizes the Frost Giants are after because of his lineage.
lineage hell.
He is nothing in particular. He is nothing special.
His corrupted blood.
He is nothing special. Nothing cool about him.
Don't listen to Garl on this.
Well, he says we certainly can't have giants thinking that they can run raids around here. He says our cliffs protect us from the sea.
They're nothing to giants.
But
They're about
if he says, but we do consider the human folk around here to be our allies. And our land. And the land, no, is not for giants. I think we can send men there. Arrangements will be made soon to send men there. I thank you all for bringing the news. This is... He says,
How?
we were told by the priests that an ancient enemy of the dwarves was meddling in affairs of all of the lives. Sometimes prophecies are vague at best, but if you say that the ordering has been broken, then certainly the giants, which are enemies of the dwarves, are now a threat. He says, that is not good. You all do a noble thing by bringing us this word. Is there anything I can do to help you? As Aldrith's cousin.
Troops to Bryn Shander. We could do with a barrel of your finest dwarven ale and a recipe on how to make it. For it is some of the best I've had.
Garl said we could do with a warm meal and a warm place to bed ourselves for the evening.
He nods.
And a safe place. So
yeah, I can't get the finest ale would be a warm place.
Well, he says, if you're asking, I allow you in. I do not have the authority to do that. But the ale, the recipe,
yes,
I can do that.
Excellent.
He says,
and
I'll send a man back.
out.
I'll send a man back to get the ale and the recipe. And I can't invite you in, but I can assure you that, you know, we'll stay in camp with you until, you know, you're ready to leave.
Okay, that's in case any wolf tribe.
He says, yeah, and I can even send out a patrol to look for more of those wolf dogs.
And what about sending troops to Bryn Shander?
He says the troops to Bryn Shander,
yeah,
they will be coming. They will be coming.
How long would it take to get there?
Not too long. Like if you guys leave, hopefully I should, like when you guys leave, should hopefully not be more than a day or two.
Okay. Okay.
Like
once
behind you
we're done
guys,
with this, I'll send a message to Markham telling him when they're gonna get there and stuff.
Okay, so you tell them that agreement's been made with the dwarf that like or dwarves that like the reinforcements will be coming from the dwarves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, he says good. Gates are rebuilt.
Garl will
Repairs have been well on their way. Life's getting back to normal. The other leaders went back to their villages to spread word, and they are like getting ready, like their council hall, and they do even have like a community hall that they're getting ready just in case refugees decide to come. So they're planning for the worst, preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. Yeah, I don't know.
Garl will
Sounds good.
So
Garl, when he sends Bright Helm sends off that runner for the ale.
Yeah.
Garl will wait for that runner. He'll slip away from the main body that's staying and he'll let that runner get about 20 feet in front of him, and then he'll cast Disguise Self on himself
Mm-hmm.
to look like one of the other dwarves that's there, and then he'll come up behind the one heading to Iron Master,
Mm-hmm.
and try to catch up if he has to dash to catch up, and he'll say, and when he gets there, he'll up to the dwarf there, he'll tell the dwarf, Brighthelm told me to come and assist you since I was not doing much back there.
And you guys are like all sitting there talking when you feel a hum and a thrum in the air, and you realize that the men's ears vibrate, and they vibrate enough where they knock all the snow off of them.
Oh, that's not good.
And all the dwarves just stop what they're doing and look towards the menhirs and look towards the veil, and pause as like that humming low subsonic thrum goes away. The menhirs come quiet.
Well, that's not normal.
He says, someone's entered our land.
Oh no.
Fucking giants.
Do you know anything about silver dragons?
And they all start like grabbing like their axes and their hammers and chugging their ales and putting down their cups and getting up.
Would you like assistance?
Yeah, can we help you? And if so, can we march through at least the top side of your territory to get to wherever the danger is? Or must we circumnavigate?
The tradition stands.
Very well.
All right.
Good luck to your friend.
Do you know where they entered your land at? Do you know where they entered your land at?
Not specifically, but one of the priests may.
Hey, has anyone seen Garl?
Okay, Garl?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, yeah. Like when the menhir go, the dwarf just kind of stops his tracks and he kind of turns around, kind of like scanning.
And Garl will mimic what that dwarf is doing, but in the opposite direction. So if he's scanning to the north and to the rear, Garl will go to the south, to the front, and say, I don't see nothing here.
And hears your voice, and he looks around, and he like actually draws an axe, and he's like looking around, scanning, like for like, you know, whatever. There's an intruder, and he hears something, and he can see his companions on the other side of him here getting their stuff together, gathering their stuff, and getting up to like investigate.
So does this happen a lot?
Does what?
Does this happen a lot?
People coming into your area.
No. And they're like getting up to go.
I mean, I could. Or would I be able to summon flying creatures? Or is that a no-go?
I don't know.
I mean, it would depend on the challenge rating, I guess. Are there flying creatures that are challenge rating?
Yeah, I don't
Like
know
2
what's
or
on the.
more?
I don't know what's on the thing, and I don't know what I would pick because if I remember correctly, that spell the dungeon master picks, eh?
Yep.
Mm.
You get alligators. They just freeze solid.
Shit.
They just kind of sleep and just like eyes roll back.
Yeah, and then we get gorillas to eat the snakes. So what are all y'all doing? You guys gonna actually do something, or try to redeem something, or let it go, or
Well,
navigate, go around this place and determine and try to find where somebody's entering. I don't know.
and Farah is drawing her Warhammer and looking around because she doesn't. She knows Gar's not there, but he hides in combat a lot, so she's not sure. She doesn't know he's gone in.
Man, I suggest we head which direction? North, south, east, west, whatever. Just follow these stones until we find where someone has entered.
Yeah, the doors pretty much head in and rush in, and even the one that was kind of ahead, they just always kind of listening for a voice. They just say, "Come, we'll head back quick to Iron Master, and we'll see if the priest can tell us more." And they just leave expeditiously.
Or better yet, we could wait and then if
question.
you need anything, let us know. That way you'll know where we are.
I've got a question. Does disguise self disguise your footprints?
No, it disguises my whole appearance and equipment.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to disguise my footprints. Between the non-detection with protects me from any divination magic
okay.
and the disguise self.
All right, got you.
Yeah, so they're just gonna leave towards farther down, going to Iron Master too. Because they're just dwarves, so they don't really. They wouldn't even notice really any trace of Garl.
Garl's just basically blending in. He's with the other. And all Garls.
Are there any other entrances that someone might have gone in by?
And all Garl's intent is to make it into Iron Master and then back out to his buddies. So he can say, "I've seen the inside of Iron Master."
Well.
And lived, hopefully.
Well, they're going to go talk to their priest now, who most likely has divination magic.
Well, that won't work.
Yeah, I guess, actually.
Or shouldn't. I should put it that way. That falls all on that stuff. Falls all on the DM.
But. Yeah. Non-detection is OP.
You're not expecting it to work like that.
Farther down the Vale, it becomes a sheer drop. It's a cleft in the earth itself.
Damn.
With the river far, far, far below. And you could see where there are stairs and walkways carved into the face of the cliffs in the cleft. And just looking down, you can see the hustle and bustle of not only the main entrance of Dwarven Citadel far below, with like some spires and castle looking fortifications actually built into the sides of the cliffs far below. But you see the hustle and bustle of an army being mobilized. Like, you can see far down below that there's like squadrons and battalions forming into phalanx
Oh,
and
Okay.
moving up. Like, there's like several area where there's like stairs and walkways and pathways that zigzag up.
wow. Wow, these guys take trespassers seriously. Damn.
Yeah.
Garl will holler out. Bright shields rule, and bright helms are even better.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like literally like a dwarven army like mobilizing. They take like, looks like they take like the whole no dwarves and Iron Master quite seriously.
Oh shit. Well, I'll at least still be ready if giants show up there. Well, we keep waiting, I guess. We're still waiting on that Dwarven Ale, right?
Are we gonna join this fight? Or
Well, we're not allowed to enter Iron Master. If we enter, it's just gonna cause more problems. So I say we just let them deal with it.
I suggest we wait here and wait for them to ask for assistance. And if we
Yeah.
feel we want to, then we
I agree.
Cloud will remove his clothing so that he can fly.
All right.
Got a 14.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Ooh, cool.
For an hour.
Cloud
And
will
then a roll
fly
again, and it goes
straight
higher.
up.
But
and see if he can see anything in the distance.
you fly up far to the west. You see like the ice-covered ocean. You can see the line of menhirs go around this veil. And when you fly up higher, you can see that there is a deep cleft in the deep center of the veil. Everything is snow covered at this point. The sea looks gray at best.
Does Garl make it to the city?
Eventually, I would say yeah, you could. But no one at all. And literally, like, you could see, like, they're mobilizing because basically you're there, right? Like,
Yeah.
they know there's an intruder. Their menhirs tell them there's an intruder. Their priests tell them that there's an intruder. But with the non-detection, I just don't really see how anyone could really. The closest thing that would happen is that you go running by like a bunch of troops, right? Moving by in armor and stuff. And you head to like a balcony where there's like big fucking metal doors open, and you're like kind of like, I'm gonna just go take a peek inside those big metal doors. And I mean big, right? Like, doors are only 5 feet tall, but they always build doors that are like, 20, 30 feet tall, right? They always do that. They don't. They're where they all sit around and eat supper isn't just like a 6 foot tall room. It's always like 30 feet high cathedral ceilings, right?
Compensation.
Yeah, something. So like, these doors are massive, and you're running by when you notice emerging from the stone. You run by, and just like a spot that you ran over, the stone rises up, and a big earth elemental rises up.
Oh shit.
And that's the closest. That's the closest you get. That's the closest that you get to getting noticed. Is that this earth elemental thinks it notices you for a while, but you are good and stealthy. That like you are able to like.
When the earth elemental rises up,
Yeah.
Garl will spin around on his feet and he'll say, "Follow me. We're going to whoop their butts. Come, we'll knock down the intruders. Bright helms to the walls. Bright helms to the line." And he'll double dash on out back to the party.
Oh god!
And the last you see of the earth elemental
This
is
is going to go so badly.
it again just sinks into the cliffside. Before Garl even makes it back to the party, you guys could see that like where before you guys just saw a few doors, you guys are now seeing like ranks of doors appearing, and they all spread out to like equal distances, and they're all basically working their way from the cleft out towards the borderline of the menhirs. They all have like shields and hammers or axes, and at which one point you guys also see rising familiar to some of you, an earth elemental also appears, not like super close by, but you could see an earth elemental rise up, but you could see like a dwarf, also armored, but wearing his chainmail over robes. You can see him talking to the earth elemental way in the distance.
In Primordial.
I don't know.
Probably.
Way in the distance. Eventually, Garl.
Yep.
You make it back. You guys can all see that, like
must be a false alarm. They'll probably think.
But they spend a good time looking.
How long does it take for Garl to get there and back?
Since I figure you're rushing, probably about 20 minutes.
Okay. And so Garl still have the dwarven disguise being presented. He'll say, when he gets back to him, he'll say, "They need your help. Go to this side of the to the obelisk and scan the areas and search. We haven't found nothing, but we're bringing the might of the bright helms to them."
I'm making an insight check.
Okay.
What's the insight? I am so. 6th level is that +3. That's +3, right? For proficiency.
Well, why are you rolling insight on them? We should trust them. He's just a dwarf coming from Dwarven City.
Well, yeah, but every dwarf Taurus that we met the past Taurus that they have to respect tradition and not bring us and not ancestors are not always past the. So, I'm not suddenly changing.
I didn't tell you to go past the obelisk.
Oh, did you not? What did you say then?
I said to it and search on this side.
Oh, okay.
When suddenly all the emblems on the menhirs, you can see them circle around, glow brightly, glow red. Just suddenly with a flash. Boom! the triangle and anvil patterned glows bright red on each and every menhir all the way around the Vale. They glow so bright that you want to squint and turn away, and yet they keep glowing
As
and glowing.
as they do that, Garl, as the dwarf, will make it seem like he got like there was a concussion or something that blew him and throw himself into the snow
Mhm.
deep, and then as he comes up out of the snow, if nobody's looking at him, he'll go ahead and change back to Garl.
All right, just with the face down in the snow, just transform into the big poof.
Yep.
To conceal your transformation.
Yep.
All the menhirs glow, and you actually notice that like they're producing so much heat that like the snow is actually melting a bit. You can feel the heat on your face. You can even smell like the singeing of your furs a little bit. They then fire bright, brilliant red beams of light, connecting each and every menhir like a grid over top of the Vale. This lasts for moments or minutes, and the energy is dispersed slowly and gradually, and the like the glyphs on the stones fade out. All of the squadrons and phalanx of men eventually gather into formations and begin leaving, descending by what Garl now knows is like series of ramps and stairs, ladders, chutes, maybe possibly secret doorways, who knows. And all in all, from the vibration of the menhirs to now, it's probably like a good like Garl, you come back, so I'd say probably about an hour after you come back, everything is finally quiet in the valley. But yet it's a mess now, because now you can see where all the clean white snow has been trodden all over in the Vale, and the menhir's melted snow where there was slush, and things got all sloppy. Like where everything seems so calm and deserted, things now look like all chaotic, and like traces of a big event happened. Eventually, a cart comes with 4 dwarves. The cart has a wagon. And on that wagon looks to be an object about the size of a barrel. Not even a wagon, a cart, right? Like 2-wheel cart, like just 2 wheels big enough for like to pull the barrel and stuff.
Large barrel.
Yep, quite a large one. Yep. They eventually come up. The dwarf, you can see all the dwarves kind of look shaken, or kind of like looking over their shoulders and right, like scanning. He says, "We're told by Gwert to deliver this barrel here." Along with it, he reaches into his parka, and there's a scroll case, a simple scroll case made out of bone, but. And he says, the men will be heading out towards Bryn Shander by tomorrow. He says, so they'll be like a day behind you guys.
Well, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate the courtesy and compassion that you have shown us and the people of Brand Shander. Your allies with them will be noted, and if you need any assistance from us or Brand Shander, feel free to ask, and whatever we can give you, we shall.
He nods.
We'll be
He
happy
says-
to assist.
He says, well, if
By the way, did you catch Intruder? Did you repel said invasion?
he shakes his head, no. It might have been one of those. Might have been one of the wolf tribe. Might have been another barbarian. We don't know.
Could it have been a bird or a wolf or something across the border? Like,
What about like a
or do you?
He says, I don't know. I'm not a priest, but I know that. I don't know if it had like the intelligent races. He says, but he says we have spotted dragons in here before, but I don't know if them in here's set the alarm.
Were those earth elementals I saw?
They were. The priest summoned them in helping protect.
That's cool.
Darrell will be pulling out of his pack. Will pull out his journal, and he'll be writing in his journal, and he'll be pumping the dwarf for more information. So tell us about it. What did they do? What did you find? How are the people? And he'll be writing down all the strategic tactic development.
We're
that he
dwarves.
saw.
We're ready to go to battle at an instant. So, and we will.
And
to protect our traditions.
And Gar will write down about how he saw where he saw the earth elemental come in, and the talk about the different symbols on the stairwells going down, and like that, and the colors of the symbols, how they turned, and the sound of the warning, and like that. So he'll have a good idea of how quick they reacted, written down in there for just basically a knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like he did a probe, so he could go and collect what data he could, come on back, and then certain dark corners he'll start calling himself Garl of Iron Master.
Well,
you
thank you very much.
You sure know how to bait those guys. You're like an Iron Master baiter.
Yes.
Really? We're going there?
I can hear a joke.
So this gnome walks into a dwarvish stronghold.
And what does he see?
I don't know. That's the punchline. Iron Master baiter.
Yep. He sees a whole bunch of Iron Masters.
It's like in the Forgotten Realms comic books. Bless you. In the Forgotten Realms comic books, they're at Elminster's tower when his tower was in Silvery Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene opens up like ellipses, and Elminster's telling a joke, and all you hear is the punchline, and the punchline is, after all that shape changing, you'd be dragon too.
Yep.
Okay. So he says, I don't know. The menhirs detected something. The priests activated the menhirs, but by the time they were activated, they're must have left. So, I mean, it happens infrequently because even like the local tribes know not to, but could have been a young one, could have been a dare, could have been some sort of.
Wow.
They're pretty much blaming it on like.
Well, I wish you well, sir.
What about a snowy owl?
A snowy owl will not. Okay.
Okay,
It says
good to
in
know.
the adventure, no non-dwarf. Like, if you're not a dwarf, you can't get into Iron Master.
Yeah, but what about like a snow owl?
Well, I assume
Yeah,
that's
or
not
a
a
wolf.
person, so that would be fine.
Or whatever.
If it was considered a person,
So what about a druid
Well, does it say?
snow owl? Interesting,
I would say wild shape. I would allow it that no, you're a beast right now. You're wild shape, right?
Yeah,
I really would, because
yeah, makes sense.
but to me, a polymorph would not. Polymorph's just a polymorph.
Yeah.
But when a druid wild shapes,
Yeah, because a druid is actually turning to the beast. Polymorph, you're not really it.
yeah.
I
It's-
agree.
And
that's
and if nothing else, that's just like a hangover to earlier editions, right? Because I know that, like I said, it's the same way I feel about Rangers, right? Like, because it used to be only Rangers could track. Well, I kind of still feel that way. Only a Ranger could track like a Ranger, although there's no real mechanic. Like, that's why Garl's a Ranger. I know he's good at. So it's like, he's just
well, there
he
is
just can't,
somewhat
right?
of a mechanic. There's the natural terrain or explorer thing.
Yeah,
gives
the
you
natural
advantage
terrain
on-
and favorite enemies.
Yeah,
and-
gives you advantage on it.
But
so-
he's also using like the one variant one where it's all kind of rolled up into one.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. He's just like that's how Rangers are. Rangers are just good at it.
Yeah. So in your natural terrain or your favorite terrain, whatever it is, you would have advantage on wisdom checks, aka survival, for tracking. And if you were tracking your favorite enemy, you would have expertise on intelligence and wisdom checks about that thing, aka tracking, survival. So you would have, so there is a mechanic to give Rangers better tracking skills.
I think the whole difference used to be was in the previous editions they had the real detailed sidebar on tracking, like the
Yeah,
chart.
but only Rangers could track back in the day. Or, I mean, you could, but there was like a feat you'd have to take, whereas Rangers just got it.
Yeah, I think later on, like in second edition, you could take it as a proficiency. I think. But I remember the tracking chart. It was more detailed than it is now because it was like more than one creature and the time and the weather. Like, it was very, very detailed to building up the exact precise DC
Yeah, it was.
of the check.
Yeah.
It was very
track a single goblin across a rocky terrain after 24 hours.
right. After a torrential rainstorm.
Yeah, well, in 5e you do have your adjustments for your DC on your tracking.
Yeah, but I just mean it's not as detailed. I remember
I agree.
I remember it was very detailed before.
Oh, I agree with you, but I'm just saying that they kind of, with their streamlining,
Yeah.
how they
Get rid of all that crap.
Well, yeah, with the whole advantage disadvantage, there's kind of no point making it as detailed. Because I remember like it was like very specific. Like you said, a goblin on stone. Anyways, so because we're coming up to like 3:54 p.m., let's expedite the trip home. You guys can pretty much, to keep continuity, you guys pretty much just follow your back trail.
Where's home? Where
'Cause-
are we going?
Well, Bryn Shander, I mean, just back to Bryn Shander for a short time. You guys, in Bryn Shander, you can see gates are rebuilt. There is a bit more people there. You can see some people from the smaller villages maybe decide, hey, let's go to Bryn Shander rather than in like our fishing community of 50 people, right? You guys come back this time. You guys enter Bryn Shander. You guys are recognized at the gates.
After the Baccalarian parade we had celebrating afterwards, yes.
Right.
would be.
You guys come. Markham Settle is like, out doing business. It's not like once he gets word that oh look, you guys are back, he just comes over. He meets and greets you guys. By the time you get to the town square where you guys park the wagon and camp up the wagon and stuff. By the time you guys pull up there, he's pretty much met you. Even Algreth is there with him. You can see that she is happy and excited. Everybody's waving and greeting you and stuff like that. And even some people like Bill Dora jumps out of the wagon. A lot of people greet her. She seems to know a lot of people. She's just that type where she knows everybody. She knows everybody's name. She knows their occupation. It's that type of person.
Let us pass out the keg of dwarven ale as we make our way through the city again.
Oh! I wish I could. Wish I could give you guys inspiration again.
God will let the little Miss Brighthelm know that there was this one dwarf that says he's counting the days till he sees that luscious beard of yours. He was what was it, Bright Shield clan or something like that. And he was a roly-poly thing, but he moved good and quick, and he spoke highly of you when those obelisks went crazy.
Oh yeah, there was a bit of a to-do while we were there.
Vlad will be sitting on the giant's head, holding up the eyeball.
Whoa. Kids are gathered around you, Druid. Out of nowhere, once you pull up the gross eyeball, you now have 20 kids surrounding you, wanting to look at it. You're just now center of a mob of kids. This Eric Crocra holding this eyeball. And one of them even goes over and peeks under the tarp and is like, "Oh, gross!" And they flip back the tarp, and you got the giant head. And Markham Settle.
Well, obviously when one works, all of them want to work, so they probably all work and then go and then find it's gross as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, but they're loving it though. They're kids. They love gross shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long before they're throwing snowballs at it. Markham Settle, he comes up with his thumbs hooked in his belt and comes up and he motions over to the head of the giant and he goes, "Here," and he pulls off of his belt a pouch and he hands it to Nicodemus. You're kind of like his spokesperson, he feels. You in Silence and Far Eye are, kind of there stretching your legs out after the bit of a ride, looking for a place to warm up a bit. Mm-hmm. He hands over a pouch that clinks. And he says, "Since I'm officially the leader," he goes, "there's going to be a little bit more than that." He goes, "Maybe it won't have the same value, but," he goes, "I don't know where you're all heading off to next, but before you do," he says, "we're going to have a quick little ceremony." He goes, I'm giving you all official titles for what you've done. Helping protect Bryn Shander. Drinks are on me. Come on in.
Those are the words I like to hear.
Guys already got a bunch of titles. Troll Slayer, Goblin King, Climber of the Cloud Castle, Troll's Bane, Ghost of Iron Master.
Garo will say, "And you know what? You gotta listen to Silence. She has the greatest song of this exploit of these dwarves of Iron Master and how they done. And she's put it to song and poem. She is the greatest."
He says that's all everyone's been talking about since y'all left was the parade. There's been anything like that here. He says even our high summer festival isn't as good as that. He says it's not often we get good entertainment up here. Yeah, there's some people, but not good. He says the silence. He says I'm sure that tonight you could get the whole place filled if you're going to be playing music tonight. He says because people are expecting y'all to be leaving, and he motions his head way to the south, well, kind of southwest, to where the road that leads out of Bryn Shander, out of 10 towns, is called the 10 Trail. And the 10 Trail reaches far to the southwest to where it passes through a high gap in the spine of the World Mountains. And he says once full winter hits, he says that pass will be, well, impassable. So he says I expect that y'all will be leaving soon. He says the doors are coming. He says if what you say is true, and he looks at Syracus's ale, he says we should be safe. He goes, but my next agenda after pitting a medal on all of y'all, he says, will be finding a leader. He says I have enough to do in one day with just training and protecting the city. I don't want to be stuck managing all the details. So he says, come on, let's warm all y'all up. And you guys can go in to like Calvin's Cairn, it's called. Or not Calvin's Cairn, Calvin's Comfort, the tavern. You can see, as soon as you guys walk in, is what the fuck is his name? Sir whatever. The NPC.
Oh, the Bly?
Yeah. He looks like he's getting over his cold. He still sounds kind of sick, but not like before where he was like sick in bed fever. He's still sick, but he sees you guys. He like, hey, gives you guys all a wave and gets up to come greet you, as do several people. People are filing in behind you. It's nice and toasty warm in here. It is so nice and toasty warm in here, you guys. I just can't even explain it. And the smell of like the log walls, the log building itself, the smell of the smoke from the fireplace, the cured furs, the food, the ale, the lanterns, the pipe smoke, and the warmth. It's so warm that your skin is becoming itchy because your skin has been cold for so many days. Your thighs and your cheeks and the backs of your hands and even your feet, they've been cold for so long, and now they warm up where you're actually kind of itchy, and it feels so damn good. We'll call it there.
All right.
In Bryn Shander.
Okay.
Just one question before we leave.
Yeah.
So the sending spell says that I can send a message to a creature I am familiar with.
Yes.
So we've been told about this Artisembra guy. How would that mean I am familiar with him and I could send him a message?
I'm only telling you what's going on.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just asking.
If you want to try, you let me know.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I've got 2 those left, so I just want to tell him what happened in the town, and tell him that we plan to head south, and he may want to think about heading south as well. If the first giants are looking for his blood, then once we leave, he'll be the only one up here that will be drawing them.
I'm not like Rain Man, but that was more than 25 words.
Uh,
I like the reference.
I would summarize that. I'm not good at coming up with that, but it's something like that.
Okay, doesn't work.
Thank
Okay.
God.
All right, so that means he's probably dead then.
Or that you're just not familiar enough.
Okay, all right. Well, I tried.
Yeah, I was gonna say you know, but you don't know. But even Garl knows that. Well,
You know what out of game. What they're talking about familiar with that may be a different definition than what you're working with. The just learning
Yeah.
cursory outside information that's sketchy at best from the sun,
Okay.
because the sun doesn't
Yeah. Well,
know where
I
he is
wasn't.
and like that.
Yeah.
That it may not work.
Yeah. That's right. That's why I tried it, because I'm not entirely sure what familiar means, because I think what I said means it's familiar, but yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, right?
Well, yeah, and there again,
That's a difference between word of mouth and physical familiarity.
it would be, I think, probably a good example is you're familiar with your mother and father.
could I cast sending to Arnold Schwarzenegger? I've seen all of his movies.
Well, and that's and I kind of going with that you pick we'll say a
And
politician.
I probably know Arnold Schwarzenegger better than you guys know Artis Ember.
But you pick a politician or a movie star like that, you know things about them, but which makes you think that they're familiar. You're familiar with them, but you're really truly not to have that bond that you'd have to communicate.
Right, and unlike a modern day celebrity, we know exactly what they look like, right? You don't even know what artist looks like. You just got the name, and you know it's this guy's dad, who allegedly has some sort of rank.
Yeah. Well.
But you don't know what you don't know till you know.
I guess.
And
Yeah.
you also know this, right? People are looking for him because he's got this rank.
Mm-hmm.
Won't just be Lance.
Yeah.
Like,
And they probably would have tried that as well, I guess.
are you gonna cast
Something- or
sending and it's
something
like, oh, I'm not fuck. Well, we should have done that.
And maybe even if I did, even if he did hear it, he might not have replied, right? So, yeah.
Oh, you just know, no connection. There's just nothing on the other end.
Yeah.
You just could not make a connection. You just zero bars, man.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah, I got you.
There was just stab in the dark.
Right.
It was just a pure stab in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, a pure stab in the dark is sometimes all you have when you're an adventurer. So I'd try it regardless.
Just because the answer is no doesn't mean that you didn't get any clues, right? Like, at least you know now. Well, sending didn't work though.
Either he's not, you don't know him well enough, or the motherfucker doesn't exist. AKA dead.
Don't forget, there's also like a fucking storm giants and whoever else looking for him, and look at the means they're going through to get to him.
Yeah, and let me see here. Oh, okay.
Well, do we still want to go and look for him before we go? Because we were going to do that as well, right?
Oh, we're heading south anyway, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. In fact, your first stop would be In fact, let's put it this way. This could be where you guys get the map. Markham could supply it as part of like.
Of the honor of being.
Yeah.
How much was in the bag?
100 gold.
100 gold each,
Yeah.
or 100 gold
100 gold.
total?
Yeah. For the giant head. Which is already placed, getting placed out on a stake beside Droofy's.
Who I killed.
Yeah, there's even a plaque now, Michael. Bless you.
Bless you.
But yeah, so you guys can be like in like Calvin's Comfort, kind of celebrating, kind of planning. Marco Settle could provide you with a map. So if you guys want to use the map, because I think whatever is called Grundlestone in the past would be the first place, or Fireshear.
Oh,
Do you guys have to go to Fireshear? Can you bypass it? Just you guys can tell me what path you guys want to take, town to town, and I can.
Let's see here.
Well, the nearest town. I mean, the road goes through Handlestone.
Yeah, Handlestone,
towards Farshire. So
Yeah.
we may as well go to Handlestone and then keep going that way. Keep going south from there.
Yeah, I know you have to go to Handlestone. Will be like the first place, and then.
And then where are we going from there?
Well, I was gonna start that next week.
Okay.
With
I just track what you were saying is all my point was.
Oh no, I understand too. I just wanted to know kind of where Fireshear was in reference, just in case.
It's a straight line from where we're at to the coast.
Yeah. Okay.
On the road.
Okay. So because I want to like kind of tie in your destinations next week. I didn't want to just throw it in ad lib quickly at the end here. So yeah, we'll just call it till next week. And
cool.
Okay.
So 20 gold each, right?
However, I don't know. I said 100 gold in the pouch. You guys don't ask me how you're dividing it. Don't ask me. I'm just a DM.
Yeah. You want me to stop?
I'm regular 20.
Yeah, you can stop. Bye, YouTube. Thank you guys for whatever.
All right.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.
I'm a polar.